What if the monster you knew was never supposed to be the star? And what if the original design was locked away, forgotten, and now it's back to reclaim its spot? This twisted rivalry between an original concept and a flawed final product is the dark secret of Garten of Banban 8 Anti-Devil. You begin as a parent looking for your child, only to be thrown in a prison run by monsters and branded a wanted criminal. Your only path to freedom is to uncover a hidden conspiracy and team up with Flumbo, the original blue concept for Banban, who was meant to be the star before being betrayed and left to rot. Hi everyone, I'm NotWalm, and today we're breaking down the complete twisted story of Garten of Banban 8. We'll follow the desperate escape from Syringeon's prison, explain the tragic origins of the creature known as Flumbo, and analyze the final monstrous battle that changes everything. So let's meet the anti-devil and let's get started. Our story begins as you're processed as a new inmate in Syringeon's prison. The prison is guarded by lanky green creatures called Givanium guards, who make it very clear they don't like humans, calling you a disgusting little thing and complaining about what they expected from a human. After being forced to prove you'll follow orders by picking up and throwing away a can, you're herded into an outdoor prison yard covered in graffiti of the kindergarten's mascots. Your first task is to get your ID card, where the photographer menacingly tells you, "I hope they work you to death." From there, it's off to the worksite. At the worksite, you meet a bitter Stinger Flynn, who is now even smaller than you are. He blames you for his capture, saying,
"You're never seeing your children again."
And that a figure called the Surgeon now runs everything. But after a day of mining rocks, a bit of hope appears. A fellow Givanium prisoner pulls you aside and takes you to his boss, the powerful Sir Dadaboo, standing beside an unconscious Jumbo Josh. Dadaboo calls you Syringeon's puppet and the survivor of impossible odds. He tells you that they've both been played for fools by Syringeon and proposes an escape plan for that very night. But in a place like this, you can't trust anyone. The plan is a trap. Waiting for you in the yard is the new warden, Sheriff Toadster. He reveals your accomplice sold you out for a single strawberry lollipop, calling it an offer I couldn't refuse. Toadster blames you for everything, connecting your arrival to the chaos caused by Bitter Giggle, the Queen, and the invasion of the Naughty Ones. After executing the traitor, he prepares to deal with you, but just as he does, help arrives in the most chaotic way possible. A massive truck crashes through the prison wall, and you make a desperate escape as the driver yells, "Buckle up friends, this ain't my first rodeo," before the truck crashes off of a bridge. The screen fades in with a simple grim message. The escape failed. You awaken in the wreckage, somehow the lone survivor of the crash. As you navigate the dark, ruined hallways, you pass a whiteboard with a strange drawing of a devil-like creature, giving two options: repurpose or persist. This small detail is a huge clue about the twisted science happening in this facility. Your path leads you to a closet tied shut with an amateur rope knot. Inside, you find a new, friendly face. The creature is Flumbo, and he is totally confused. He thinks you're someone named 17, and that you're both just playing a years long of hide and seek. Moments later, a heavily injured Banban shows up. He seems to have memory loss, not even remembering showing Flumbo this hiding spot. He explains that he was just attacked by the Naughty Ones and woke up in a hospital bed. Banban is here on the Surgeon's orders to pick up his old friend, Flumbo. He cleverly plays along with the hide-and-seek game to convince a reluctant Flumbo to come with him. For now, you're all on the same side. The three of you board a nearby train, and as it travels, Banban's memories seem to return, and he starts questioning you about past events, like when you teamed up with the surgeon to fight Sir Dadaboo. But your conversation is cut short by an emergency broadcast from Syringeon himself. Calling himself Father, he declares you as a dangerous human who has escaped. He puts a bounty of 10 lollipops on your head, dead or alive, and warns all citizens of his facility not to fall for your lies, screaming that you are liars before signing off with a creepy "have a fantastic day" while they're out. Realizing he can't be seen with a wanted criminal, Banban comes up with a new plan. He's on his way to the surgeon's office at the top of a tower, so he'll drop you at the next stop, the old clinic. He tells you to find some old equipment that could help locate your children, hands you a blue keycard, and says good luck before the train leaves. Now completely alone again, you activate an assistant module which reveals itself to be Bitter Giggle. The AI mistakes you for Dr. Uthman Adam and performs a physical scan, confirming you have major injuries from the crash, including skull trauma. It says it can't find a human doctor, but a makeshift doctor is nearby. Before letting you pass, it gives you a new remote that acts as a key and a stun gun, setting you up for the next stage of your journey. Armed with the new remote, you enter the clinic proper to meet the makeshift doctor. He's obsessed with cloning his one true love, Nabnalina, and demands you help him. But the process fails horribly, creating a twisted creature called the Givanium Abomination. In a fit of rage, the doctor kills his failed creation. But before he can do anything else, his time runs out. The bounty on your head has been answered. Suddenly, a new monster named Clorenzo, a member of Sergion's new reclamation team, crashes into the room and it kidnaps the doctor, presumably killing him, and then turns its attention on you. After a tough fight, you manage to defeat the bounty hunter and continue your journey to meet up Banban and Flumbo at the surgeon's tower. But as Syringion and Banban confront you and Flumbo in the tower, Flumbo is still completely lost in his own mind. Believing he's about to lose his years-long game of hide-and-seek, he accuses them of being the Seekers all along. Flumbo makes a desperate move. He grabs you and throws himself into the abyss, pulling you along with him. Your fall ends as you land directly in the mouth of a giant creature named Zolphius. Instead of being digested, you find yourselves in a bizarre Givanium village that exists entirely within the creature's stomach. But you're not given a warm welcome. The villagers immediately imprison Flumbo, accusing him of burning down a neighboring village. The village elder tells you that the only way to free Flumbo is to prove his innocence. After a failed attempt to win the villagers' trust, the elder takes you to the burnt-down ghost village to find evidence yourself. There you are hunted by Varzal, a monstrous dog-like creature who reveals himself to be the real arsonist. After surviving the encounter, the elder finally understands the truth and returns with you to free your friend. After explaining the misunderstanding, the elder frees Flumbo from his cell, which, in a funny twist, was never locked. It's here that Flumbo and the audience finally learn the whole truth. The elder reveals Flumbo's real purpose. He was created to be the new star of Banban's kindergarten, a replacement for Banban himself. But Syringion and Banban made a plan to stop this. Banban betrayed his friend and locked Flumbo in that closet, leaving him to be forgotten so Banban could keep his spot as the star. Flumbo is left confused and heartbroken by the revelation. Just as Flumbo is processing this devastating news, Varzal, the real arsonist, sets the entire Givanium village on fire, and in a final heroic act, the elder and the remaining villagers sacrifice themselves, forming a ladder with their bodies so you and Flumbo can escape the belly of the beast. But before they perish, the elder gives you a mysterious tape, telling you to show it to Banban when the time is right. Once you're free, your escape is cut short by another broadcast from Syringion. He announces that he has captured Bandalina, the person Flumbo cares about most, and is holding her hostage in a secondary tank section. He threatens to harm her if Flumbo doesn't show up. Heartbroken and now filled with a new purpose, Flumbo races to save her, with you right behind him. You finally reach the secondary tank section. The tense standoff ends in tragedy as Syringion throws Bandalina into the massive tank of Givanium below. Pushed into a rage, Flumbo tells you to play the tape. The footage plays on a giant projector, revealing a shocking secret. Syringion was the one responsible for Banban's curse, the one who made him transform into an uncontrollable hellish form whenever he gets angry. The revelation shatters Banban. He loses all control and transforms into his monstrous hellish form, and gets revenge, brutally killing Syringeon and throwing his body into the tank. But as Hellish Banban turns his rage towards you, Flumbo steps forward, revealing his own secret, stating that unlike Banban, he was just better at controlling his anger. He transforms into his own massive blue hellish form. The two titans, the original concept and the flawed final product, clash in a violent battle that ends with them both falling into the same Givanium tank, where Bandolina and Syringeon were just thrown. In the aftermath, the massive amount of Givanium in the tank, combined with the raw power of the four characters, causes them to merge. Banban, his replacement Flumbo, his love Bandolina, and their creator Syringeon are all fused into a single grotesque monstrosity. As you escape the chaos, you hear the voice of your child calling for you. You open a door, but you are met with a cryptic monologue from a character known as the Anteater, who says, "Now the rules change." The game ends teasing the next chapter, Garten of Banban 9, Last Tickets to the Abyss. So what is the ultimate story of Garten of Banban 8? At the start, it's a chaotic prison escape, but it's really a tragic story about replacement, betrayal, and a cycle of violence that consumes everyone involved. First, let's talk about Flumbo. His entire existence is a lie. He was created by management for one reason: to be a better version of Banban, one that didn't have the same anger problems. But instead of getting his chance to be the star, his only friend, Banban, betrayed him and locked him in a closet to disappear forever. Flumbo isn't just a monster. He's a victim of a corporate plan that threw him away when he was no longer useful. This brings us to the game's title, Anti-Devil. Banban is cursed with a devil or hellish form that he can't control when he gets angry. Flumbo was designed to be his opposite, the anti-devil, without this flaw. The devastating irony is that Flumbo has the exact same power. He was just better at controlling it. This explains that he wasn't a perfect replacement. He was a mirror image, cursed in the same way as the original. Finally, the whole story is a cycle of hurt. Syringeon's experiments created Banban's curse. Banban's fear of being replaced because of that curse led him to betray Flumbo, and in the end, that betrayal brought Flumbo back, leading directly to the tape being played and Syringeon being killed by his own creation. The grotesque monster they all become in the end is the perfect symbol for this. It's a physical fusion of the creator, his flawed creation, the perfect replacement, and an innocent victim, all together in one body. A horrifying mess with no escape. But let me know your theories. Drop all your thoughts down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this dive into Garten of Banban, please make sure to smash that like button, share and subscribe for more explorations of dark and fascinating horror games like this. Thanks for watching, I'm NotWalm, and I'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe, and don't sell your friends out for a lollipop.